Diffraction in action. Here we go. So diffraction, we said, was when a wave or anything somehow spreads out. And so we're actually claiming that a wave is as a wave does. One of the ways we're going to define a wave is it must be able to diffract. And you'll see what we mean by diffraction. So diffraction is an interesting thing. Normal everyday objects do not diffract. For example, when you run into someone, the person, their body is here, you smack into them, you come back down, you stay your same body size the whole time. At no point do you really spread out and become a bigger object. You may say, oh, I got hit. No, your body still roughly is what it is. You'll see what we mean by spread out. For example, we will claim light is a wave because waves diffract and light diffracts. And so we'll bring these glasses I'm wearing, they're called diffraction glasses, and just kind of like strange looking regular glasses, but actually if you aim them at a light, you will see rainbows. Got them? So they're revealing this magical world that you don't normally see. Now all of those different colors, the Roy G. Biv, are actually coming from that light. However, your eyeball does a nice averaging because it would be confusing to walk around the world and see all the different colors at all the times. So your eyeball takes all those colors and puts them together, and your brain actually interprets that as white light, so it looks white to you. But in fact, the different colors are present at the same time. What these glasses do, they don't create the colors are already there. They just cause the colors to spread out. So red, orange, yellow, so on are actually all coming right on top of each other. They hit you in the retina and you just see white. You experience white. These glasses cause them to spread out. And so when they spread out, they hit your retina actually in different spots. And so then you actually see red, orange, yellow, green, so on, separated. So let's check this out a little further. First off, we just saw that light diffracts. Now, second, we're going to use two lasers. We're going to use the extremes of the rainbow. We're going to use the red and the violet. So we got our red laser and our violet laser. Right now, you see evidence of them transmitting. So they're coming straight from the laser in a path. They're hitting the table. You also see evidence of them reflecting because the only way you see them is they bounce off the table and they come up and hit the camera, and then you get to see them. So we're seeing transmission and reflection right here. Now, can we see diffraction? The answer is yes. In fact, the way we can see it is if we put these diffraction, aka light spreading out vehicle in front of it, watch what happens. Oh, so in fact, if we shut the lights, this gets better. There it is. There is light spreading out. And so this is what I mean by people don't spread out. People don't diffract. Baseballs don't diffract. You can't fashion a device where you throw a baseball at it and suddenly there are a grid of baseballs against the wall. So there's your red light diffracting. Here is your violet light diffracting. Similar pattern, however, there are differences. And so what are some of the differences? That's worth noting. Well, in everyday life, if you see a rainbow, there's always a certain pattern. Red is always in a certain place, generally on top, unless you see a double rainbow. Violet on the bottom. Why is that? Why do they always follow the same pattern? Well, not only do lights diffract, but they diffract differently depending on their color. So here's what we'll do. We'll take red, and we're going to mark off the location of red. So I'll have my center line up right there. Red. And we're going to mark off, that's actually called the central maximum for those of you who are going to quantify this one day. And then we can go off to the side just one, and that's roughly here and here. Let's see if that lines up. There we go. So there. I have to keep this roughly at my nose level, and there, that marks off the spot. Good. We're going to do the same thing with violet. So we'll take 3 of these for violet. Keep this roughly nose level. And if you notice, if we line it up at the same central spot, the violet dots actually fall short of the red. They are not as far spread, not as widespread. So violet, violet perhaps here, and here. Let's try this again just to make sure we're in the right spot. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's do this in the dark. And what you'll see here is that violet light most certainly diffracts or spreads out. And that's where the first three dots from the center, including the center, appear. That's their spacing. Red light diffracts or spreads out as well. Intermittent laser, there we go. And that's where its first three dots, including the center, line up. Okay, and so one of the things you'll notice then is that violet light and red light diffract differently. It depends on the color. Uh-oh, I hear some different sort of diffraction coming down the steps. Anyway, they diffract differently depending on the color. And for those of you who end up quantifying, we tend to associate that with the wavelength, bigger wavelengths and different diffractions. Okay?